Hi guys, today we're back with the second issue of Robin, The Joker's Wild. Previously in the first issue we saw that Batman was on vacation in Rio, leaving the new Robin, Tim Drake, in charge of nightly patrols. Meanwhile, the Joker escaped from Arkham and kidnapped a computer scientist named Dr. Pellinger. Tim tried to stop the Joker but failed, and afterward, both Alfred and Tim worried about what might happen if the Joker discovered that Batman wasn't around. The second issue starts with Robin watching over some kids who are barely older than him. In his head, he's thinking, I'm out on all-night patrols by myself for the first time. But crime marches on. They used to call this type juvenile delinquents. Now they're youthful offenders, and they're growing dumber every day. Just talking about my generation. Robin drops down behind them, and the kids immediately mock him, saying he's just a kid who hangs out with Batman. They're both bigger than him, and when Robin warns them, they get ready to attack with a hammer. But then, they suddenly notice something behind him. One of them mutters, it's, him. And they both drop the hammer and run away. But it wasn't actually Batman. It was just a hologram. We find out that Tim came up with the idea of projecting Batman's hologram to fake his presence in Gotham. That way, criminals will keep believing Batman is still on patrol. The only problem is, these juvenile criminals weren't exactly the type to spread word about Batman through the underworld. Then we see the Joker, who is torturing Dr. Pellinger while keeping him stuck in front of a computer. Joker keeps medicating him to act like he's at a party, but what he really wants is for the doctor to hand over the key to the city. Back in the first issue, I mentioned how writer Chuck Dixon was building a tech-based crime plan here, Joker's scheme to take over Gotham with Dr. Pellinger's help. Now, I've already read the full run, so I know exactly how this plays out, but honestly, it's better if you see the setup unfold and enjoy it issue by issue. Then we see Tim Drake struggling in class. He's half asleep, thinking to himself, too many long nights on the prowl. Couldn't sleep anyway with everything that's going on. His teacher is lecturing, but Tim can barely keep up. When the teacher calls on him, Tim doesn't respond. Finally, the teacher calls out his full name and asks him a question about the lecture. Luckily, Tim's friend helps him out by doing a silly seals gesture, and the correct answer just happens to be seals. Tim gets by, thanks to that. At lunch, Tim thanks his friend and they start talking about his fancy lunch and clothes. His friend points out that with his lifestyle, Tim should be in some private school instead of Gotham Heights. Tim explains, Mr. Wayne thought Gotham Heights would be more broadening. So my thoughts while reading this was that Jason Todd's time as Robin, which often leaned into his brashness, rebellion, and street tough background, felt very different from how Chuck Dixon shows Tim Drake. Instead of clashing with authority, Tim struggles to balance being a crime fighter with staying a regular student. By showing him dozing off in class and barely keeping up, Dixon highlights the duality of Robin, a hero by night, a tired kid by day. Next we see an actress sneaking into the closed Majestic Theater for an audition. A spotlight hits her, and a voice says, all I require is that you scream. She hesitates, then the man steps into the light. It's the Joker. She screams and he laughs. Such beautiful music. And I know you're all wondering what Joker's weird game is here. Drop your thoughts in the comments, keep watching to find out, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Meanwhile, Tim Drake is gearing up for patrol, but wishing he could take out the Batmobile. Alfred shuts him down. Not a chance, Master Tim. Tim pushes back. We can't keep hauling this bulky holographic equipment around. Alfred replies, bulky is an understatement, Tim, but using the Batmobile is out of the question. So Tim says, then we'll set up the hologram projector someplace a big crowd will see it. Batman's presence is the only thing keeping Joker cautious. Right then, the secure phone line buzzes. Alfred answers, only static. Could it be Bruce? Nobody can reach that line, not even the phone company. Very suspicious. Continue watching to see why. Later, Tim's on the rooftops scanning Gotham when he spots a girl about to jump. Robin dives to save her. Down below, Joker and his crew are disguised as Gotham Telephone Company workers, setting their plan in motion. From the crowd, someone shouts, that kid's got his work cut out for him. Another asks, must be crazy. Who is he? Joker looks up, sneers. The boy wonder again. I didn't want Batman and that brat around just yet. I know I killed Robin. Why won't he stay dead? Next, the gang breaks into the telephone company. So that was the cybercrime. Joker kidnaps Dr. Osgood Pellinger and forces him to rig Gotham's phone system with quadruple blind mazes, rerouting every call into endless dead ends. No phones meant no order, no response, no safety. Dixon made it feel eerily realistic, which is why this arc still hits hard. Chaos by logistics, not just clown gags. The actress Joker auditioned to scream was only a distraction, staging a fake suicide while he carried out his move on the phone company. Meanwhile, on the rooftop, the girl slips. Tim reacts fast, hurls a batarang, hooks her ankle. She outweighs me by a few pounds, he mutters, straining, but manages to pull her down safely. On the street, one of Joker's men spots Batman. Joker snarls, rats! The flying rodent finally makes an appearance. Let's make the best of a bad situation. He grabs an Uzi, sprays the rooftop, then orders his crew to fall back, only to realize the bullets pass right through. Just a hologram. Joker's rattled. Robin sees his chance, and Dixon's narration nails the tension. This isn't for fun now. The man below me killed the last person to wear this costume. The man below me has nearly killed Batman 100 times. Tim steels himself. If I screw this up, I'm dead. Guess I'll just have to not screw up. He dives, kicks Joker in the head. Joker just laughs. Not the same Robin. New costume, très chic. Bit of a runt, aren't we? Tim growls. On your feet, Joker. It's over. But of course Joker isn't done. Why the rush, bird boy? Why not stop and smell the flowers? He sprays acid from a trick flower, slashes with a bladed cane, taunting, I'm quite the cut-up. Did Batman tell you how I killed the last Robin? He blew up real good. Tim reels, dazed, and just then the GCPD finally shows. Joker sneers, tosses a smoke bomb. I prefer to make like a tree and leave. He vanishes. Tim's left bloodied, clutching his jaw. A cop mutters, "It was a nice effort." Tim answers flatly, "Sure." Back at Joker's lair, the villain gloats, "Such glorious pranks we shall pull. Not even that crime-fighting sparrow can stop us." But wait. Where was Batman? That illusion, those bullets. Could it be that Robin is home alone? And that wraps up issue number 2. What I loved most was seeing Tim's duality on full display. He's not Jason's brash, street-tough Robin. Instead, he relies on wits over force, even while facing the same Joker who killed Jason. But this marks Tim's second straight defeat. It's 2-0 in Joker's favor. Stay tuned, because the next round is only going to get tougher.